Restivius is the host to 5 brand new North American servers. Every week they give away $10 to the top 3 active members of each server, and be sure to come chat with me if you join their Discord. The link will be in the description. Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be answering the question, what is the best gene in Rust? Ever since crossbreeding was introduced, someone posted that 4 Gs and 2 Ys is the best, and after doing a little bit of testing, I concluded that this was the case. However, after one of my subscribers has done thorough testing on all the different possible combinations with and without fertilizer, there is potentially a new king to take the throne. Here is the information to back up his findings. Pause the video now if you'd like to look, but in a couple of seconds I will unpack the information in front of you. Before I get into dissecting the information, huge shout out goes to Bear, who is the guy on my Discord who did all the testing and posted it inside of my forums. Thank you so much for your information and hard work, and also for letting me post it on my channel. If you couldn't tell already, the top half is done with fertilizer and the bottom is done without. So we'll start off our analysis with fertilizer. In the top right section, you can see that the yield per time is actually the highest with GGGYY. What this yield per time means is how much cloth you're getting per minute after you take into the fact that you also have to clone your plants. So if you're using fertilizer, it's clear that you should use GGG and YY. And in fact, 4 Gs and 2 Ys is not actually even second, in fact it's third. Having 4 Ys and 2 Gs is actually more cloth per hour if you're using fertilizer. Although, another thing to note is that 2G and 4Y gives you 4 clones instead of 3. This means that you only need to clone every 4th cycle instead of every 3rd. On top of that, the growth times are 9 minutes longer, which means you only harvest every hour and 40 minutes, which gives you a lot more time to do other things. So to sum up, if you're using fertilizer, then I would recommend 3G, 3Y as it gives you the most scrap per hour. However, if you're one that likes to do other things, then I would recommend 2G, 4Y because you spend less time cloning and less time at the base. It's completely up to you. That being said, we all know that fertilizer is not viable right now. It takes too long to get, so what do the statistics look like if you're not using fertilizer? Well, if we look here, we can see that 3G, 3Y is still the best again. However, this time by not as much. If you look at the difference between this and our beloved 4G, 2Y, you can see that the difference is only 0.002. This number is so small that it gets lost in rounding, and in conclusion, the two of the genes are almost identical. Something to note though is that it does take an extra 11 minutes for GGG, YY in order to ripen. Similar to what I said before, this means that your plants will take longer to grow and still yield the same amount of cloth, which is good for you because it means you have to harvest less, clone less, and overall just do less labor in general. And yes, 2G, 4Y is still kind of viable because you do less cloning and less harvesting. However, do note that if you look at the graphs, you can see that the potential cloth lost is in fact double that of which it would be if you were using fertilizer. So unless you're using fertilizer, I wouldn't recommend doing 2G, 4Y. I would recommend sticking to 3G, 3Y. However, 4G and 2Y is still technically just as good, it just requires a little bit more labor. So in conclusion, 3G, 3Y is the new best clone, 4G, 2Y is still not bad if you're not using fertilizer, and if you're using fertilizer and you're quite lazy and don't want to do as much work, then 2G, 4Y is still quite viable. That concludes my thoughts on the matter. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next one.